today I'll be looking at the second deck of the two-player starter deck. So, what is in this? So today I'll be looking at the second deck. So we've got Zeus, which is one of the extra deck monsters, probably the main boss monster. You've got the rest of the XYCs, some that you could use to put to go into Zeus, because Zeus can be summoned if you attack with an XYC. It can then be summoned by using the one that's attacked as its base from materials. So that we're going to be for now. So what do we notice in this deck? Well, there's a lot of spellcasters, and with spellcasters, this is a theme of the deck, mostly with probably the boss monster, one of them, if I can find him. Where is he? Dark Magician. And this is probably going to be the one, not well focused, the deck around. It's a normal monster, original boss monster from the original series. So, how could we look at making this deck better, well, improving it? So, a couple of things I've noticed that would help: taking out a couple of the non-spellcasters, like Gyroid here, a couple of you. That Penguin might be useful, but a couple, maybe Crane, a couple like that. Up to you really, depending on what you wanted. John Yellow I'd probably suggest as well, to support the use of Dark Magician and the deck, because it has a lot of pulling traps and spells from the graveyard and doing it, which is useful. So, what could we use? Trap I'd use straight away, because it's Dark Magician. It's Eternal Soul. This, and flipped up on your opponent's turn because you have to set traps. Protect your Dark Magician from opponent's card effects, so can't be targeted or destroyed, and there's a couple of other non-targeting effects it protects it from. It lets you summon a Dark Magician from graveyard or hand, ignoring its needing 2 tributes, and you can also add the spells Dark Magic Attack or Thousand Eyes from deck to hand, but you can choose one of those a turn. The drawback to Eternal Soul is if it gets destroyed and it's face up in field and sent to graveyard, it will wipe your board. But with this deck, like Magical Broker, has some synergy with it. Which one was it? Just lost it. that's it, Magician of Faith. If it's flipped, so we set face down, flip it face up, you can target, so you could bring back Eternal Soul and reset it onto your field. There's a couple of others that let you pull your traps and spells back. There we go, 1,000 Knives with the attack spells for Dark Magician. Weirdly, don't think I saw Dark Magic Attack, which is a spell and trap removal. That's searchable. So the stuff I might add in. Might add in enough more copies of Dark Magician. Just so I've got a couple of, while you can play with one, having a second or third means you're more likely to see it in your deck. It's got Dark Magician Girl, well, different artwork, but I've got one here which I could use quite nicely for it, because the more Dark Magicians you have in your graveyard, Dark Magician Girl is gaining 300 attack for each one, so you can get it to 2,900 attack, which is a decent amount of attack. Then going off Dark Magician Girl, there is support for her, which make really good general spellcasters for low leveled. These are the Magician Girls. They are found in 3 printings of the movie packs, so 3 different rarities, but that doesn't really matter right now. So there's start with Kiwi Magician Girl. So during either player's turn, so on your opponent, you can discard this, and all your other Magician Girls will gain 300 attack and defense for each other Magician Girl with a different name on the field and graveyard until the end of turn. And also protect your spellcaster type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and they can't be targeted. So it's in hand, discard it to graveyard. You can boost your board, but it also protects stuff like Dark Magician, so it's another protection for, like Eternal Soul for a turn, and means you can take less damage if you're on your opponent's turn, or you'll do it if you, or you can boost your attack if you need to for your opponents. So then we have this Apple Magician Girl. She's useful because if she's targeted for attack, she halves attack and can special summon a level 5 or lower spellcaster from hand. And then you change the attack to that. If it's destroyed, you can target up to 3 other Magician Girl monsters from graveyard and add them to hand, so we can recycle material. Next one, Lemon Magician Girl. Very similar to Apple Magician Girl. But she'll let you tribute Magician Girls, except herself, to add spellcaster types from deck to hand. And if it's targeted for attack, special summon a monster from hand, but you negate its effects, so basically it acts like a normal monster without any of the special effects. And you change its attack and half its attack and change. Bearing Magician Girl. This one, if it's normal summon, you can add any of the one of the Magician Girls to hand from deck. So, once returned, if it's targeted for a card or effect, you can change this card's battle position, so attack to defense or defense to attack, and then special summon a Magician Girl from your deck, except another copy of this one. Then there's Chocolate Magician Girl, who does two things. One, if you discard a spellcaster, you can draw a card. So if I've got two Dark Magicians, for example, I could deposit one, discard one to get a free draw once per turn. And again, this is targeted for attack. Target a spellcaster in your graveyard, except another Chocolate Magician Girl, to special summon it and change the attacks. Do it again, you have. Why is this useful? Well, one, they all feed to Dark Magician and the spellcasters, which I think is probably the best way to run this deck. So I'll just show you a quick combo that can happen. So if I've got Chocolate Magician Girl on field, I've got the rest of the Magician Girls and let's say Dark Magician hand, and use her effect, pitch Apple Magician Girl. Then I can go then I can draw one. So if she's already in the field, so then I've set up my hand. So they go for an attack. I go Chocolate Magician Girl effect into Apple Magician Girl. Halves the attack. Now Apple Magician Girl's target for attack, I can go into summon from hand, Lemon Magician Girl. Not affected still because Apple doesn't negate, and it's halved a second time. Then Lemon Magician Girl, I can go Dark Magician Girl. There's effect, so if I've got Dark Magicians in graveyard, doesn't matter because her effect will be negated, but it'll be halved a third time and I'll have to hit the Dark Magician Girl. So you've halved once, twice, 3 times. That's enough to cause a lot of damage to someone who's attacking. Then if I really want to, I could discard Kiwi Magician Girl and they'd get 3, 6, 9, 1, 2, 1,500 boost, because it's 300 each. On top of that, so you could seriously cause damage to your opponent's deck if they've got no way of countering that. I'd probably run, personally, 3 Dark Magician Girls, 3 Chocolate Magician Girls. I'd say 2 or 3 Apple Magician Girls. Again, 2 or 3 Lemon Magician Girls. I do run one of each because I don't have enough to run one. Well, I'd Kiwi Magician Girl again. I'm running 1 because that's what the only copy I've got. But you could run probably 3 for consistency, and you can just maximise the effect. Berry Magician Girl again, I'd run at 2, I think, but again, running at 3 would help with pulling out some of them. There are, so that would greatly help with the consistency for this deck. I reckon, well, in my opinion, I'd take this down the spellcast route and add those in. If I really wanted to, I'd probably also add in a Dark Magic attack. So I've got that at 1, so I've got something searchable to another counter to my opponent's spells and traps. If I wanted to go down, the other alternative you could do is expand the extra deck full of XYCs, because this is the type that the deck leans itself towards. Well, you've got a level 3, you've got a couple of levels, there's more. If I just switch to screen share, move that there, then no, that's gone wrong. Okay, screen's not quite working for some reason, but yeah, okay, never mind. There's plenty of others, so Baguska is a level 4 that don't have a copy. It's quite useful because if you sit it in defense mode, so sideways like that, it would shut off your opponent's effects and lock them from being able to attack as well. But really, with the mix of levels of 3s, 4s, you can make a very generic of this. There's enough 3s and 4s. You could make just what we'd call a ranked turbo XYC deck, where you just play as many of the different rank 4s and 3s that would suit the way you wanted to play. But then, yeah, because these ones, so look, I don't actually know these ones this well. So this one just needs 2 level 4 monsters for material, which means you just place them over the material underneath, so then you can remove them for effect. So Castell is good because you can detach material, so to flip face a monster on the field to face down defense position, or you can use it to shuffle, detach both materials from it, and you can shuffle your opponent's deck, so it's a board wipe. That's once per turn. Zeus, the top one, is a destruction. So you can board wipe your opponent, and you can add material to it again. Number 20, Giga Brilliant. This you can use to boost your detach a material to boost the rest of your monster's attack by 300. So you could, if you could do the Dark Magician Girl line I showed you. We've had that as well. You could boost them a further 300. So you could make that would work really well as a set, but you'd have to keep some level 3 monsters in your deck, which this does contain some. And Digosto Emerald, this one, 2 level 4s, which there's enough in this deck. Attach one material. You can either target 3 monsters in your graveyard and put them into deck, then draw a card, or you can target a non-effect monster, so something like your Dark Magician, which is just normal, and then special summon it. So again, your deck's getting low, you can recycle some of your materials, and then you can have them in deck. Stops you from decking out and losing. That means once you've used a resource, you could feed them back into your deck to try and use them again at a later turn if you run more of these or any of the other things. So yeah, that's probably what I'd do for that deck. Now, a quick one before. So the next project I'm going to look at after these from next week is structure decks. So I'll be playing, well, I'll be unpacking, building the deck just from 3 structure decks, looking at it, and then in 2 weeks time we'll be looking at upgrading it. Now we might improve the deck once we've got it tomato based. So yeah, there you go. That's I think so. I think you can upgrade these decks for a bit of fun. Looking at the that you can upgrade them for some good fun between friends casually, but I'm not sure you'll be able to really utilise them in competitions that are graded. See you then.